What is up, everybody? It's No One Shall coming right back at you with another Star Trek Fleet Command video. Today we're going to do a follow-up on yesterday's Prime videos. I want to go over it one more time and go over the cost of them and how you could possibly get them free down the line in the game if you were a hardcore grinder and really set and determined to get these Primes for free, not coming out of your pocket, just coming out of what you can get from the game and grinding your way to it. So, as we said yesterday, my favorite primes were going to be Prime Officers, Prime Crystal, Prime Gas, Prime Repair Speed, and Prime Repair Cost. Those 5 were my favorites out of the bunch. And I put together an Excel document based on this. And then I went over scrapping a D3, scrapping a Legionary, and scrapping a Mayflower. And went over and pulled out all information that is necessary for getting these for free down the line through the game. As long as you can get to level 35, and as long as you can max 2 of the 3 of these ships out. And I'll tell you why 2 of the 3 of the ships, because the third really doesn't matter unless you really want Prime or Refine. If you don't, there's only 2 ships you need to work on. And we'll get to my desktop and we'll take a look at it. And before we get to this document right in front of us, I want to give a big shout out to Elcars. I want to give a big shout out to Fartasia. And I want to give a big shout out to Battalion. Both of them were helping me during this process because sometimes no one's mind is a little fuzzy when it comes to these commands, and Fartasia helped me out, and I was using their new little what's it called, the new little terminal, their self terminal, and I'll show you what it looks like. So instead of asking your questions in DMs or in Elcars itself, you can ask them through Elcars DMs. So to get that activated, you just go down to Elcars, go down to a terminal, type call or exclamation point hello, and then the bot will PM you, and you can do this all through PMs instead of going through the thing and have other prying eyes and people looking at you. So that's what I did, and you see I went through a lot of it, a lot of trial and error, a lot of all that. So let's get down, oops, all the way back to the bottom. So let's go back, let me minimize this, grab this, move this back over here, and let's go look at it. So let's zoom in. Ooh, that's too much zoom. No enhance, too much enhance. Let's not look at the left yet. That's spoiler. That's spoiler. So if we look at the document, I went over the Prime Repair Cost, Prime Repair Speed, Officer, Crystal, Gas, or Piercing Defense. I broke it down into the stuff it needs, G4 Uncommons and G4 Rares. And then I broke down the dilithium requirements for it. And then under that, for giggles, I actually went over the Prime Hull, Shields, and Damage, which those are all lower end stuff. And then under that, I have the Mayflower, the D3, and the Legionary maxed out. All information based on them. I know my head's in the way of part of it. But if we look at the top, so we look at Prime Repair Speed. So it's going to cost you 1.25 million dilithium and 150 rare G4 gas. Repair cost, 1 million, cost you 100 rare crystal. Really? I gotta follow while I was doing this? Well, Mark, looks like you got a shout out in the video. And the Prime Officers. Prime Officers is gonna cost 1.6 million dilithium, and it'll cost you 100 rare gas. And then we get down to the Prime Crystal and Gas and Ore. So we look at the Crystal requires 1,000 uncommon G4s. Prime Gas requires 1,000 G4 uncommon gas. Prime Ore is 100 or 1,000. Sorry, these are 1,000 UC Ore. G4, and as you can see, the deal requirement's really steep. So about 65 million for Crystal, 100 million for Gas, and 225 million for Prime Ore. Those are like a save up one. I wouldn't go for Prime Ore because for me it's plentiful, and I've always stacked it up because I really never had a battleship to waste it on. It was always interceptors and survey ships and explorers, and that was it. And after a while, I just banked a lot of it up over time. And we have Prime Piercing and Prime Defense. Prime Defense is a don't get. I'm going to mark that in red so you guys are aware that not to get it because it is not worth it. I think I'm going to color code this when I'm done for the blue and green, just for my own aesthetics. I'm going to throw this in the description of the video and in my Discord so you guys can look it up later down the line and you guys can see it. So Prime Piercing is 2.6 million. It's going to cost you 300 rare crystal. That's probably 1 year to either have to scrap. If we go down to Mayflower, or you go down to the bottom to Mayflower, rare crystal. No, it's rare crystal. So you would have to scrap 2 max D3s to get the crystal you need for it. And that one's just, I would say buy it, in my opinion. If you really don't want to scrap 2 max D3s. But if not, you can do that one. So let's go over, and at the bottom, as you guys see, I threw in all the relative information, what you need to know on that one. And why is this here? Let's get that I can't get that out of the way? That sucks. Alright, so if we scrap Max Mayflower, we get 1,637 G4 gas, uncommon, 881 uncommon G4 ore, 182 G4 rare gas, and 98 rare G4 ore. We scrap a D3, we get a max D3. Remember, these are all maxed. 1,556 uncommon G4 crystal, 838 uncommon G4 gas, 173 rare G4 crystal, 94 rare G4 gas, legionary, 849 uncommon G4 crystal, 1,577 uncommon G4 ore, 95 rare G4 crystal, and 176 rare G4 ore. So now we go over the list. So what can you earn for scrapping a Mayflower and a D3? So if you scrap the Mayflower and D3 combined, let's zoom back out again, you would be able to get uncommon repair speed, uncommon repair cost, prime officers, and prime crystal and gas. But when you look at the prime crystal and gas, it's going to cost you about 165 million in dough. That's one is a major saving point. You would have to save for a lot of time or bank up your hostile captains for a while. But it's doable for free. So, and if you look at the prime repair speed, cost, and prime officer, that's about, what, 4 million, 5 million dough. That's easily doable. As long as you're able to max a Mayflower out and max a D3 out, you're able to get those technically for free. As long as you're a free-to-play player or even a pay-to-play player and you don't want to pay for these and you're just like, man, I got this D3 sitting here, I got this Mayflower sitting here, there you go. Scrap them, get rid of them, and boom, you got 5 primes out of it. Just by those 2 ships. And then, well, I don't think as I wrote on the right here, it makes no sense in scrapping a legionary unless you want the prime ore. That's the only reason, because if you look at it, it's only giving you 95 crystal and 175 ore, or 176 rare ore. So, what in this one requires rare ore? Prime defense. And that's not worth it. You just scrap 2 legionaries for something that mitigation kind of outdoes on its own. It just doesn't make sense. Only thing you would want it for is the ore, and do you really, really, really want that ore? If so, then scrap the D3 or scrap the legionary. But the 2 major ships you would have to look at maxing is D3 and Mayflower, and those are the ones that you would want to do. I know they won't cover the exact rates which you would need, but for if you just wanted the 3, the prime repair speed, cost, and officer, then it would cover that in dilithium alone, because it gives you about 5 million dilithium back from scrapping them. It would cover those. I know it's not going to be the exact what you spent on it, but you can get the primes out of it. It won't cost you, what, for those $300 in cash? Kind of an easy deal if you want to stretch it out, get to 35, and just scrap these ships that you no longer use at 35. I know it's a long game, but it is something I'm putting out there for you guys so you guys can know and learn from, because that's what these videos are about, is to help you guys learn. And if you guys are impatient, you want to spend the money on those primes, go ahead. But if you don't, this is the easiest way to do it, is max Mayflower and D3 out and scrap them at Ops 35 or Scrapyard 35. Just want to throw this video out for you guys. I wanted to do a follow-up to yesterday's, which was the prime, which primes, or going over primes. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell notification to know when I go live. Below that is my Discord. Please come out, join my Discord. I'm going to put this document into my Discord channel, or Discord. And below that is my donation. If you guys want to donate, you guys can. You guys don't have to. I love you guys anyways. There's an Amazon wish list you can look into, but you don't have to. There is a Teespring merch store under there, which has some stuff with my face on it. If you want to get something with my face on it, it's down there. It's helping the channel out. Each purchase down there helps it out greatly. And below that is a new fancy little join icon. If you hit the join button, or it looks like a cash symbol, you click that, and it's either $2, $5, $10, or $20 a month. Become a member. You get a green highlight in YouTube live chat. You get a green highlight in my personal Discord, as long as you have your YouTube attached to your Discord in the Discord settings. It's the gear icon. You just go to there, hit connections, and attach your YouTube, and there you go. As long as you remember, it's going to show up there. And that's about it, guys. Remember if you get sad, angry, or any negative emotion toward the game, bubble up and take a break. It's not worth the time to get angry over a game. Alright guys, it's nowonshall signing out. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.